Hey, y'all.
Hey,
What's up? What's up?
Hello, it's good to meet all of y'all. I know Jay, I've talked to you a couple of times, so it's very good to see you again. But the first time meeting the guys.
How are you?
Howdy. How are you?
Good to see
I'm
you.
doing very good. Yes, howdy. I am actually from Texas. I'm in Texas right now, so howdy is the proper way.
Howdy.
Good. We just got back
What
from
part?
Texas.
Yeah.
We were in Austin for a NASCAR event.
I saw that actually. A couple of my buddies were out there, and they said, "Oh, I can't believe who's here!" And they said the Broken Lizard guys are there, so everyone was excited to see y'all in Austin. That's a great track, actually, a lot of fun.
That's fun.
It is, yeah.
But I wanted to say this movie is so hilarious and clever. And I wanted to know how y'all came up to parody the story of Quasimodo.
Yeah, well, we had written the script many years ago. We wrote the script right around the same time we wrote Super Troopers. So, we were sketch comedy at the time, sketch comedy group, and we were trying to make a movie in that vein, in the Python vein. And so we started writing this thing based on this character that Lemme used to do, where he worked with this guy who in a record store who kind of talked out of the side of his mouth. He was this kind of lonely loser kind of guy. And so he would do that, and we thought it was funny, and we started riffing on it, and we started building it into a script where we wanted to make this guy a lovable loser. We made him a hunchback, and we put him in this conflict with the Pope and the King, and he falls in love with the Queen, and we loved it, and we wrote it, and then we couldn't get it made, and we put it aside, and then every few years we dust it off and work on it, and luckily, after we made Super Troopers 2, we had a nice little window and some momentum, and so, we were able to get this thing made, and that's kind of where the whole thing came from.
Yeah, it's a very clever story. I remember I spoke to Jay previously, and he mentioned this movie, and then he mentioned that Adrienne Palicki was going to be in the movie, and I was so surprised and excited to hear that. So let's talk about how great she is in this movie, and how'd you convince her to be in the movie?
Well, she is somebody we've admired from Friday Night Lights and The Orville. She's super funny in that, and so we were looking for somebody who could handle the comedy. And then, she's got this sort of very stately, royal look to her. And we guessed she might look good in a crown, which she did. And then we just made the offer to her. And as it turned out, she was already a fan of ours. So the transition was fairly seamless because she understood exactly how weird we are. Because she was a fan of the movies, and she kind of plugged herself right into it.
Yeah, she looks great in the crown. And Jay, you pulled off that crown great. Did you take that home with you?
Talk about looking good in a crown.
I did not take it. It was a rental.
It's real gold, right?
I love that crown. I love wearing crowns.
It looked great. So all y'all pulled double duty in this film and played multiple characters. How do y'all decide who plays who?
Well, we do it late. We write all the drafts without casting it. And then at the last 5 drafts, the director and we'll all start to discuss who should play who. The goal is so that you don't start writing for your character until the end.
Yeah, and then you get it on its feet, and you guys try out different characters, and kind of feels like it's usually pretty obvious once we've done a table read who's best suited for what. And in this case, what was cool was you then had a second round of characters to decide who plays who. And in that case, I think we left it more up to Kevin about logistically what would be easiest to direct in terms of putting the same actor into 2 different roles, what was going to make the production less of a headache.
No one was trading the roles, like I want to be this guy in the scene.
Trading cards? No.
I feel like I remember Jay, like you were so happy with the role of the king that you weren't necessarily interested in playing Bluet, the bartender.
I didn't feel like I needed to, and I thought if somebody else wanted to, like even somebody outside the group, I remember Mike Yurchek. That would have
undermined.
But that would have undermined. But the director's like, no, I need you to play 2 parts. I'm like, okay, fine.
Yeah,
I'll do it, and I'll do it well.
Yeah, I was kind of going crazy because I was like, wait, these guys don't have twins. What's going on here? I was like, why do everyone looks so alike? Which scenes in this movie, resulted in the most extreme laughter?
I think, there's a scrotum scene in this thing, which was a pretty crazy day. We got a lot of good laughs out of that. And it was actually the day the presidents of the movie studio showed up, and which is weird. But they had a great time. Like we looked over and we saw these guys in suits like posing for pictures with this prosthetic scrotum, which we thought was a pretty funny image. But that was a very kind of weird and funny day. But there were plenty of days where, people cracked each other up.
Sure.
The exorcism day, you guys had a lot of laughter in a very uncomfortable day.
What a scene.
With the blood splattering and all that kind of stuff. That was very funny. And I liked a lot of the scenes you guys had in the royal kind of dining hall. There's some great stuff in there with the Pope pictures. That was a very fun scene to shoot.
The set looks great. So go about how you constructed such an amazing set. We
had our set designer, our production designer, Bianca Farrow. She does our show Tacoma, and she has a crazy. She's one of these kind of like Ren Fair kind of people. She's always loves that stuff, and we always feel like we tie our hands on our TV show because she's making modern day someone's living room or whatever. And so we said to her, what do you think about making this movie? She's like, oh my God, let me. And she just went crazy. She's like the research and the sketches. And she just built this world, at a very, low cost. And she just did a phenomenal job. It makes me feel guilty. We brought her back in to do season 4 of Tacoma. And then I felt like we had to tamp her back down again, and cut the legs out from underneath.
Well, but the thing about her, like we met her, there's a show called American Vandal on Netflix. Do you remember that show?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
About, it was like the mock crime drama
Jimmy
documentary.
Tatro.
Yeah.
And it was about the kid who drew all the dicks on the teachers' cars and everything. So she's actually the one that drew the dicks. Mm. And we were like, oh my God, you're the one. You're actually the one who did it. And then we realized that was kind of a problem because like, you're looking around the set and there's like beautiful ornate stained glass. And you're like, is there a dick in that stained glass? And sure enough, she was sneaking phalluses all over the set.
And you can see them. If you look around Quasi, you will see the
Easter eggs.
penises in the set. Built
That's
into
our
the sets.
Easter egg.
Those are our
Easter eggs are penises hidden throughout the movie.
So watch the
We
movie
didn't
about
do it.
5
It was
times
our-
to get a count of how many dicks are in this movie.
There is a lot.
but not our doing.
We would never do that.
I love the torture chamber. That's like a really cool set. And I was watching the scenes and I was like, this could be a TV series itself, like the torture chamber. Like the guys in there, I was like, it could be an Office-esque like TV show. You ever thought about like kind of yeah, it's hilarious. And doing the inventing the testing of the torture chambers. Like how'd y'all come up with like all the like little type of torture devices and stuff like that, the names for them?
We looked at all. We shared a lot of pictures. Remember?
Yeah,
those
yeah, yeah.
pictures
It's a
we
lot of
shared?
photographs
I mean,
around.
you
Yeah.
can look at the stuff
my
they
God,
had back
during
then,
that
and
time.
it's it's
Gruesome.
beyond belief.
Disgusting.
I mean, you couldn't make that shit up. And you'd see the way they split people and shoving eggs up people's asses, and you're like, whoa! And like anything that you came up couldn't come close to that.
Yeah.
So we did a little bit of it, and then we set our set designer and props people off on it, and they went crazy on it. And we ended up having all this funny stuff, and I don't think it even did it justice in the movie because
They were way worse in real life.
corners of that room, there's shit going on.
There's all sorts of horrible
There's
things.
guys like chopping dicks off, and there's all kinds of stuff, and it doesn't all play in the movie, but it was there for texture.
And then y'all have one like gag that goes out throughout the whole movie is the oysters. What's up with all the oyster gags throughout the movie?
We just thought there's the funniest
Yeah.
thing is like, imagine that is the ultimate symbol of status in society. That if you have eaten oysters, let alone a good Balan oyster, that is what made you a big swinging dick. Just,
But it actually was historically, royalty were the ones who got the oysters and not the peasants. And so, we were on a big oyster kick back
The
when we.
riff we used to do in New York.
Yeah, we like talking about oysters.
It's a funny word to say.
Oysters.
Oyster.
Oyster.
No,
Hey,
definitely
don't
it's a
get
funny
started.
word. I love oysters. I don't know. I'm a big oysters fan, so I got hungry while watching.
Yeah, sure. It gets them tonight.
So here at Nerdtropolis, we got a big community of fans of y'all's, and they wanted to ask some questions. A lot of them were saying, "What's going on with Weedfest?" And we're gonna bring Willie Nelson into this. So what's going on? Is that even in the pipeline, or maybe in the future?
Well, we're discussing it with Warner Brothers because they own the sequel. So we are hoping to get it made. Yes, that's the hope.
There you go. That's exciting. And then everyone loves, Club Dread. Next year is the 20th anniversary. Any big plans to commemorate that milestone?
Ah,
Man, we should.
Somebody
Yeah.
pitched me that we should do like a Club Dread booze cruise murder mystery thing. for
Okay.
fans.
on a big cruise
Okay.
ship, like
That-
with
that,
Prince.
I'm buying that first ticket. I got that first
Oh,
ticket.
that'd be great.
People were like, "Holy shit!" People would pay so much money to do a Club Dread.
What if
booze
somebody
cruise
died
murder
on a
mystery.
cruise? You'd kill people on a cruise
One
For
by
real.
one.
one by one. I like it.
That sounds really fun. And then not if,
Definitely.
but when is Super Troopers 3 happening?
We think next.
We're writing it.
We're 10 drafts in, so we're hoping to do it next.
It's looking good.
Perfect. I have an old school like Adam 12 police car. I would love to offer that to y'all if y'all want that for Super
Okay.
Troopers 3.
Okay.
Does it work?
It does work. It runs and drives lights, everything.
Wow. Okay.
I will let y'all put that in the movie. That is
Can
y'all.
we wreck it?
Yeah, can we ruin
Can we
it?
crash it?
We'll talk about that. I want to be so destroyed by that. Actually, I'm going to think about it. That's a pretty good
Okay.
response to
Okay.
that one.
Okay.
Pause it.
Okay. Okay.
No, but Quasi is so funny. I'm definitely already watched it twice already. I'm going to watch it 4 more times. I got to get all those
great.
dicks counts up. So how many do we think are in the movie?
I don't know. Look at the when you look at the exterior of the bar, the pub. Look at the windows. That's my Easter egg.
Yeah, there you go.
To you.
There we go. No, I appreciate y'all's time. Looking forward to y'all's next movie, and y'all enjoy. And y'all are touring right now with the movie. Y'all are in Boston right now, correct?
Yeah, we are.
Yeah,
That's
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
Y'all are coming to a city
Nashville.
near y'all's fans. So exciting. So y'all have fun, and we'll see each other soon.
Thanks.
Thanks.
All right, take care.
All right.
See ya.
Thank you.